Good morning. Let me tell you about something that I call the crunch point.
Episode 10, episode 10, timber framing.
Up until this point, I've managed to dig the foundations and pour the concrete and lay the sewers and lay the rainwater drains, all without knocking anything down. But when it does come to the demolition, I have to do quite a lot within a short space of time. I've got to demolish the existing extension, demolish the party wall, and then I've got to lay the underfloor slab and build stem walls and put in the damp-proof membrane and the damp-proof courses, put a timber frame structure on top of that, and then clad one side of the timber frame in bricks, all within a window of time that isn't too arduous for my neighbours. In fact, because there's a party wall agreement, I have to do all of that work within an amount of time that's actually a contractual obligation. And there's only one of me,
Give or take.
so I've got to move quite fast. The timber frame is quite complex and it would take a bit of time, and it needs to be completely locked solid before I can put brick cladding up one side of it. So I've decided to prefabricate it in sections that I can drop onto the stem walls and lock together quite quickly. Then I can get straight on with rebuilding that party wall and get out of my neighbour's way within the allotted time. Now, when I came up with that plan, I thought I might prefabricate the timber frame in some nice warm warehouse space somewhere. And it's December now, so that would be good. But I've still got to pay for the warehouse space, arrange for transport to get everything here. It's a lot of faffing about. So I was thinking instead I might put up a huge shelter, taller than the timber frame, at the other end of the yard, and prefabricate everything under that. The yard is a very irregular shape, and so is the frame that I'm building. So this is the footprint of the frame I'm building, and it does just about fit in. So now all I have to do is throw up a shelter out of plywood and sticks so that I can work away underneath without getting rained on.
Ooh, abraca, shelter, dabra. Okay.
Here I am, standing underneath the shelter, not getting rained on. And here is the delivery of timber, so I'm all ready to go. To make this structure, I'm going to build a timber frame in the centre of the wall and then erect shutters either side of it, and then place hempcrete that I've mixed on site around the timber frame inside the shutters to form the wall. And what that means is you need to think about the placing of the hempcrete at the point that you design the timber frame. The first thing you've got to do is get the timber frame dead straight, because if the frame isn't straight, then when you set the shutters up off the frame, the shutters won't be straight and then the finished wall won't be either. You also want to avoid horizontal members wherever possible. Use diagonal bracing if you can, and if you've got to put a horizontal member in, for instance to fix a cupboard to, then you make sure that that horizontal is nice and thin so that you can get the hempcrete in underneath it. It's good to build the top of the wall so that you can place hempcrete in from above, bringing the wall up through the thickness of the roof wedge to where it's topped out by the sarking board, completing the thermal envelope. All the fixings that you use at the joints of the frame need to be able to survive in the very alkaline conditions of the lime fixer that holds the hempcrete together. So you either use stainless steel fixings, or if you have to use galvanized steel fixings, you'd paint over the top of them with some kind of barrier layer. And of course, because the hempcrete adds racking strength to the timber frame doesn't need to be as heavy duty as it otherwise might be. Right, that's enough chat. It's time.
It's time.
It's time for an action montage.
Action montage.
It's time for an action montage.
Oh, an action montage. What a lovely idea. Right then, he's going to need one of these, except made out of wood like this one. Oh, listen to that rain. Good thing he put up a shelter. And there it is, all finished. Now, what's next? Oh yes, one of these. except, you know, one that really exists. Lovely. Right, next he's going to need a door frame, or else he's not going to be able to get in and out, is he? But a proper one, like this one here. And a couple of big frames for the back wall. You better make this in 2 pieces. This one and this one. Otherwise he's never going to be able to lift it on his own. And here they are, made of wood in the proper world. It's all coming together now, isn't it? Oh, and there's that complicated bit at the edge of the roof. He makes it look easy doing it this way. Is it easy?
Yes.
Right, well anyway, here's the inside of the structure all completed. And on the outside, oh, what kind of a pervert draws compound angles like that? I see, right, it's for mounting the fascia boards on. Fair enough. Right, here it is all finished then, ready to take down again. And here they are, checking that the space really works by lighting a lovely fire inside. And I think that's about it for episode 10. Oh, I almost forgot. If you did like the video, then press like. Say what you see, that's it. And if you want to know when he's made another, then you press subscribe. And if you want to buy him a sandwich or something, then you go to the Patreon page and you give him your money. But if you don't want to do any of those things, then he'll just keep making the videos anyway because he's obsessed. Ta-ra!